Hello everyone and welcome back to the Shrine of Amana. As the emote that I used for Teomori says, I'm not particularly fond of this dungeon, but unfortunately it's our only way in. This is not an optional feat. You will see just soon enough why this is so dreaded. There you go. This is mostly a swamp, thankfully it's not poisonous, but it has an element that they might as well be. But why its main primary gimmick are these guys, clerics. Now, I know it doesn't sound too bad on paper. You know, clerics are people who normally just heal or exorcise undead in normal fantasy settings. You know, why can they be so dangerous in this case? You will see eventually, if we manage to get far enough, but they tend to have long-range homing projectiles that constantly haunt you from far away, and you have to walk on a narrow terrain on your own already, so it's not exactly the biggest, you know, the best trekking through it. It's okay. And again, the game just loves to pepper these, you know, sprinkle throughout. It was slightly worse at launch because the capabilities of the cleric was even worse in terms of, you know, being assholeish towards you, as in it had better range, you know, and better tracking of your movement because yes, it homes in. So they actually had to nerf that with patches. And I don't mean introducing the character of patches. I wish. Also running the soldier. Alright, the other major gimmick, well, okay, there's actually two. One of them, there are these monsters hiding in the shallow water. You can recognize them because they have some fireflies standing around them. And if you have a keen hearing, when you hear a singing in the background, it means that the local ladies of this place, the Milfanito, yes, that's what they're called, they sing, and that actually acquiesces, you know, these particular creatures. Unfortunately, the clerics are not, you know, that easy to be dissuaded, but what can you do? You also have to be careful of not step into shallow end, because just like in the first game, the bearer of the curse in this one cannot swim for saving their lives, so unfortunately poor Teomori, you know, sinks like a stone. But anyway, yeah, go on, Waves.
The one thing I just thought about with regards to Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah, the bit where Princess Leia asked Obi-Wan Kenobi for help.
You're my only hope.
Yeah, is it just considering how old Obi-Wan was at the time? Help me, 63-year-old Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. I know, but all the other Jedi are kind of either in exile or dead, so...
or at least not known, because again, the entire gimmick with the spin-off is that if you want to have a Jedi survive Order 66, they have to be in hiding and not many other people will have to know their locations.
I mean, Yoda already had that down.
Yeah. Although again, my favorite of all of these is Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, where Starkiller has an entire moment where he has a premonition and goes to Dagobah, and you get like this one cutscene for like 5 minutes tops, and it's just one cutscene where he gets out of the vehicle, speaks with Yoda a bit, and then gets ops back in to go back to his adventure. You know, it's not even a proper level.
That bit was just weird. That bit was just weird. I mean, I don't think you barely even do anything about on Dagobah.
I think it's just a cutscene, not even you're allowed to walk. It's been a while since I played it.
I was like, oh, we're going Dagobah, but no, actually, you barely do anything.
It's mostly because the game, it showcased the fact that the game was super rushed. Unsurprisingly, it was the last major thing that Lucas... Okay, not the last. The last was Star Wars Kinect, but it was one of the last major things that LucasArts actually did before the buyout from Disney, the subsequent, you know, cancellation of everything they were doing. Again, thankfully the brands are still surviving in some capacity, Star Wars video games on their own, and you know, stuff like Monkey Island, 7 Max, Green Fandango, and so on.
Well, it's called Lucasfilm Games, and they are making a new Indiana Jones game.
I heard actually good things generally about some Indiana Jones game, particularly particularly the early ones, which are point-and-click style games. So I think one is precedent towards Monkey Island, but the more adventure on Tomb Raider-esque ones are the ones that are not that good, like the Infernal Machine. Anyway, this is one of the Milfanitos that I was talking about. Let's talk to her.
We knew you were coming. And stop singing.
Can you
I'm
check?
not buying whatever it is you're selling.
Can you check who she's voiced by?
What's the character's name?
We are
Milfanito.
here to sing to those bound by death and dark.
Okay. Dark Souls to
We will sing
Milfanito.
Forever. As we always have.
Too
From
far.
long ago. We know nothing of the world outside.
If you recognize from the outfit, one of these women is actually imprisoned back in Drangleic Castle, so if we manage to find the corresponding key, we will go free her. But our priority is to seek the path that King Vendrick took.
We know nothing of the world outside.
Unfortunately, these women are trapped in this place.
When we sing, the little ones dance. The little ones grant comfort to those who bear death and dark.
Karina Reeves.
I heard already her. Again, British actress mostly, so...
Funny enough, she has two
Is there
VAs,
anything
Karina
wrong?
Reeves and Naomi MacDonald. I'm guessing there's
Perhaps this
different...
will help.
Yeah, the Milfanito is the name that they share. We do not know their individual names,
This is all
unfortunately.
Like, she's mainly Tataru in...
Oh,
in
it's the
Final
same
Fantasy
one.
14.
So she's also Kira in the
late
crossover.
early crossover. Yeah.
Okay then, cool. Again, I love her. I love the type of voice that she gives for Tataru because she's more of a comedy relief type of character, so her voice fits her perfectly.
Plus, she's also like the voice of some BBC trailers.
There you go. This is what I was talking about. In the distance, it's not very visible, but in the distance, there are the clerics that will start now peppering me. Logically, because if you forgot, you can actually attack NPCs, and actually kill them if you want. If you kill the Milfanito, all these frog demons that I just fought at the beginning will immediately become aggro and start, going towards me. Ow. Ow, where did you come from?
Who's singing?
The Milfanito, actually. Like I said, keep that in mind, Waves. This is actually slightly important in when we get to the boss of this place. If we manage to get this far. Again,
What, are they the sirens of this game or something?
No. Like I said, the Milfanito sings in order to acquiesce these little creatures, these frog-like creatures. I don't know if they're mutated humans or properly, frog-like, creatures of their own, but they're clearly not in a good state. And the singing of a Milfanito is the only thing that actually, acquiesces them, that actually gives them some respite. They're not even particularly strong, Now, carefully, let's open this. And it's not a mimic. There you go. A dragon charm. It's useful for miracles, which we don't really need. Oh, I think it's already now.
That sounds like a line in Ace Attorney. Phoenix Wright didn't need the miracle.
Yeah, okay. This also sees the return of the mushrooms from the gutter, the ones that spew a mist that is not necessarily poison in itself, but it literally starts degrading your equipment faster than normal. And again, considering how shitty it already is in this game, it's already a rough time. So the fact that I get equipped the ring that actually allows to slow the deterioration, it's more of a blessing. Anyway, might as well do this. Treasure chest, dweebs, yes or no?
No.
Shiroi?
Go for it. It's what you get for touching wild mushrooms.
Okay. Alright, let's go.
Yay! It always works in my favor.
I don't know, Shiro. I think that okay. I'm starting to believe what Jaden said when this happened with Alpha. I'm starting to believe that the Google coin is actually still not weighted, but biased in favor of head. I don't know why.
We were on the subject of voices earlier. Mario's gonna have a different voice.
I will say this, however, for all this bullshit that this dungeon has, the visual is actually pretty. But yeah, so while we're recording this, we got the news that Mario is actually, Charles Martinet is receding. He's not necessarily, stepping completely down. He's becoming apparently the ambassador of Mario, whatever the hell that means, But
I'm guessing that means he's still going to go to events and promote things and whatever, because he seems to like hanging out with fans and stuff. So
I hope we get to actually see him presenting a Mario game in Nintendo Direct. That really will fit this kind of new role.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Now, okay. I'm just hoping they didn't replace it with
Chris Pratt.
Some shit. Well, actually, I prefer Chris Pratt to AI.
No, I don't think it's gonna be AI. What I do want is to be a complete newcomer, someone that people would not expect, because Jova on the SSMB suggested that it should be Roger Craig Smith or Sam Riegel, and like that's really, really banal choices for a character like Mario.
Okay, I know Roger Craig Smith has done an Italian accent before, but that was for a completely different character.
Ezio Auditore da Firenze. And it's hilarious. Go on.
I wonder if we'll get something in the inevitable September Direct, actually, about this.
Yeah, so once again, audience, the future is just precluded from us for the time being. We know that Gamescom is happening right as we're recording this, so that's your field of reference.
Not a fan of Smith's accent here.
Sorry?
Not a fan of Roger Craig Smith's accent?
It's hilarious, slightly inaccurate, but hilarious. I don't think it's really offensive, but again, it's more skirting the line or anything. Like I said to, I think it was either Jova or Pedro, I'm normally not particularly offended from Italian accent. They really have to try to do it. To me, it's more like how the stereotype to my country gets done, It's really complicated, and it's not as cut and dry as just saying, oh, I'm okay with everything, or I'm not okay with everything. Oh shit, I forgot about this guy. Yeah, Discover First in Edition, in order to compensate, we also had a couple of the giant enemies from the Tower of Hyde. Flaming Tower of Hyde. And yeah, I had to do all this shit while dodging. What is this, Toho? Like... Where are the anime girls at
the
least?
The music doesn't slap enough for that.
I don't really play Toho.
It's really probably not for you, dweebs. It's again, it coined the term, bullet hell for a very good reason.
I would just listen to the soundtrack, to be honest, because I can't play that shit either. Of
course. Well, to be fair, Shiro, I understand because it visually is a nightmare for you.
Yeah.
Especially because, again, in order to be bullet hell, you need to essentially dodge to the pinpoint the bullet. You need to find the path between hordes of bullet, that it's really already not that pretty, to be honest.
Speaking of video games,
go on.
Lately, since they put it on the Nintendo Switch Online's Mega Drive.
Yeah.
I actually tried out one of Game Freak's earlier games, Pulseman.
Okay, how was it?
It's a 2D side-scroller, so I suck at it.
Okay then.
Although it was interesting seeing what quite a few of the exact same development people did, like, because I think that was the game they literally made right before Pokemon. Like, I mean the art style is. Well, I think the art style is quite a bit different from Pokemon, but the music I can tell sounds a lot like it. I mean, it's from the same guy, Junichi Masuda.
Yeah.
Have you played it?
No. I think I played Drill Dozer a bit during my PSP days, but I don't remember much of it. I asked that you had to...
Advance, wasn't it?
Yeah. I asked Deji out of curiosity how was Tempo the Badass Elephant, and he told me strong start, but it loses itself very quickly.
Hell, I mean, Game Freak apparently made a PS1 game right in the middle of making Pokemon ones, although it was Japan only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
see. Yeah, it's a game called Click Medic. It came out in 1999, and it only released in Japan.
Oh god, there's also one of the ogres. No, thank you. Still not fighting these guys. Let's see. There's also Dragon Rider for some reason there. Yeah, I'm not going to them either. Thankfully, we did find a bonfire relatively soon, but if I recall correctly, again, getting to the next one is gonna be a bit painful. I cannot guarantee that we'll manage to do it in one sitting.
I also pre-ordered a couple of things because the past few days have been so exciting. First 2 seasons of OG Dragon Ball on DVD because, again, Toei, for some reason, not really giving Europe much consideration compared to the US, or at the very least not giving the UK much attention. I can only watch the dubs of Dragon Ball on DVD. They're not on Crunchyroll. I mean, the series is, but it's sub only. I have no idea why.
A rights issue of some kind?
I don't know. Okay, although to be fair, in OG Dragon Ball's case, I'm not going to say it's because of Goku's voice, because, again, it's him as a child, it fits. It's just I must prefer dubs is all.
There we go.
And I also got the Thunderbirds film Blu-rays.
The 2004
Specifically
one?
No, because fuck that movie.
Again, I don't know how many other movies are there.
There are 2 other films, Tio, and those are the ones I got. The ones that are actually continuations of the Puppet TV show. Okay, the good news is I don't think you need to have seen the TV show to get the most out of the movies.
The bad news?
The movies.
Oh, that's
More
always
so-
a problem.
Okay, more so the first one. The first one suffers from Star Trek the Motion Picture-itis.
So it drags on, the scenes are dragged, completely long unnecessarily.
Yes. Thunderbird 6, the sequel, okay, I can't call it the Wrath of Khan, unfortunately, but it is an improvement from Thunderbirds Argo, in that the scenes don't drag. The pacing is actually somewhat better.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and also Tio, before I forget to mention, the comparisons from Thunderbirds Argo to Star Trek: The Motion Picture don't stop at poor pacing.
Oh no, don't
It's
tell
trippy.
me. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say that one of the actors turned out to be a pedophile.
No, there's no Stephen Collins inside. But no, it's actually because there's actually a couple of really trippy scenes. I mean, yeah, I know it was the 1960s, but still. Although you'll find that out for yourselves when we eventually get to watching the movies. Because they're better than a live action movie, but not by much. They've still got their own problems. It's like I can understand why some people okay, I'm not of that opinion, but I can understand why some people are like, yeah, Rise of Skywalker is the worst film, but this doesn't mean like saying Attack of the Clones is magically not a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because something comes along that's worse doesn't mean the other thing just stops being bad. Like, I'm pretty sure you all have our examples of that.
Yeah. Okay, can you stop homing? Like, that section
Like me,
already was a nightmare.
Like me, for example. Yes, Transformers The Last Night is the worst Transformers movie I've seen. It doesn't mean Revenge of the Fallen is miraculously
Oh, please
good.
tell me it's now... more mushrooms. Yes, I think it's... Yes, thank God. Another bonfire. Alright, this is the more dickish parts, because right now, the game just straight up puts, you know, a bunch of mushrooms, including a giant one, as a sort of a roadblock that you need to defeat, and yet you will actually, you know, have to basically endure a bunch of their poison. Essentially, your weapons get essentially coated by their poison no matter what you do. So good for you. The game essentially decides to give you a phantom in this case, Felicia the Brave. I don't know if it's an additional score of the first scene, but I will take it. When it comes to the phantoms, their weapons do not get degraded, you know, that much. So thankfully, you know, you can rely on them. Thankfully, we're at the. No, I'm sorry.
No, you finished.
Thankfully, we're at the 2/3 of the dungeon, so we should ideally be already, you know, on the finishing line, and hopefully Felicia should be able to stay alive until the boss. Go on, Felicia, go! Come on, Shiro.
Next time there's a choice, give my option tails. We'll see if Driv's theory and your theory is correct.
What theory?
Does it favor heads, or does it just favor me?
Okay, then. If there was another person here, like Pedro or Jay, I would actually ask them to flip the coin just to have a neutral, you know, witness party,
yeah.
But... Again, the game makes clear that you need to neutralize first these fuckers. The paladin... Fuck, Felicia is already gone. This is a problem. Jesus, they hurt my trucks. No!
You should not be able to move that fast in water, my goodness.
Yeah, okay. There is equipment that allows you to do that, and essentially the AI cheats in a way by having, by default, the humanoid enemy having that kind of equipment. That I think it's a ring that allows you to do that. It's still bullshit.
Yes.
Oh yeah, in about just under not long, about at the end of the week that we're recording this, I'm going to see AEW's all-in event at Wembley Stadium.
It's wrestling, I take.
Yeah, the big wrestling show.
Okay then.
And a couple of blips in the build-up aside, I'm looking forward to it. I will give it a shot.
What has been the storyline about?
Okay, unfortunately, since it's a bit difficult to watch AEW live here in the UK, I haven't been able to understand a lot of the stories going in, but I'm pretty sure, like all wrestling companies on that scale, they'll give, like, recap clips just before the match begins.
Okay, then.
The show itself.
Well, I mean...
As for the blips I mentioned...
Go on.
As for the blips I mentioned, though, one of them being is that one of the competitors in a match, can't remember which of the, it's someone from a team called FTR, I can't remember who it was, this guy named Cash Wheeler. In real life, he was arrested recently for alleged aggravated assault with a firearm.
Oh.
And yet he's being advertised still for the show. As of this recording. As of the time of this recording. Now, for all I know, things could change between now and this coming Sunday. But, if he actually shows up to Wembley, in a country where we've managed to mostly eradicate gun violence,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine he won't be met very well. But hey, I'll be there to hear the reaction. So that'd be something. It'd be like if, say, Shiori attended, when Shiori attends that Sonic concert, and if suddenly Yuji Naka showed up.
in chains.
How random.
Yeah, Yuji Naka just shows up in handcuffs.
Oh my god, I got invaded too.
I forgot he was going to jail, actually.
Okay, to be fair,
Oh,
reports of whether it's actually a straight to jail thing or a suspended sentence. I can never figure it out.
No, the Japanese, law system is also different. We have to remember that. So we might not have the same, ramifications as, one we're accustomed to.
I mean, they've still got the death penalty for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know we don't, but does Italy or is it?
No, we abolished it. I forgot when, but
I think we abolished it in the 60s.
It might have been around the same time. I think it was like a collective kind of thing from a bunch of countries. I'll need to check.
I can't believe
eventually.
we had it like up until that recently.
Oh, Shiro,
let me
trust me,
check.
we had our own set of bullshit law that perdured very recently. Get this, I don't know if you... I think I already told you in the past, but...
Right, I found out. I found out the info. It was suspended. It was suspended in 1965 specifically for murder, and in 1969 it was abolished for murder permanently. It took till 1998 for the death penalty to be just completely extended across everything. The biggest sentence you can get around here nowadays is spending literally the rest of your life in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tia?
All right. Well, I forgot if I told you previously in the past, but there was this law called the Murder of Honor, which already just the name sounds already bullshit on its own. That basically tells this: if a person finds, their partner having cheated on them, they actually murder both them and the person they were sleeping with. You have essentially they have a discount to the sentence. What's the term? No, it gets worse, Shiri. This is I used a generic pronoun, but in reality this was only applicable to men. So yeah.
Yikes.
This thing was like abolished, I think, if not in the 90s, at the 80s. It was that kind of one of the last major things that remained that people, had to fight tooth and nail in order to remove. Because seriously, to say that's bullshit, it's like a euphemism.
Yeah.
Those round here, something like that among other things. I think they're called honor killings, and that's actually an aggravation to it. That's actually honor killings are considered an aggravation of a sentence. if you're found guilty, if it turns out you did an honor killing, that can actually make your sentence worse.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it kind of makes sense, considering it gives you a stronger motive to act like that.
Yeah. Okay. Now to move on to something a bit more pleasant.
Yeah.
Okay, I've actually had to, unfortunately, okay, I did give, Magic Knight Rhea a chance, but, episode 1, I'll be honest, it didn't grip me.
I guess
so
in terms of setting and everything.
Yeah, so I just sold off the Blu-rays.
It's been a long time since I watched this, so I cannot really remember much of it.
It just didn't grab me, so I just...
Sure. Well,
so at the very least, it eases my anime backlog a little.
Can you tell me how was the dub, if there was anyone recognizable in it?
There were quite a few actors from Los Angeles, like Wendy Lee and the like.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this, the dub was funny.
Okay, but was it a gag dub or something?
No, it was one of those dubs that was trying to be played serious, but it's so hokey, it's actually really funny.
Okay.
Yeah, the hokey kind of bad.
Yeah.
It's like, the hokey kind of funny. I mean, those dubs. Okay, those dubs. It's interesting because those are the dubs I enjoy watching, but I'm also simultaneously glad isn't a thing anymore.
Sure, I get what you mean. Wait, where did the Phantom go?
Everything's got to move on at some point. Like we got better at it eventually.
Come on, Felicia, let's tag team this bitch. There we go. Dropped into the water.
I also watched a few episodes of okay, this wasn't recent, But I did see a few episodes of Outlaw Star.
Ah, okay.
And I've still got the Blu-ray.
Okay, hold on. There's another Milfanito here. Let's talk to her. Oh.
Oh my god, I'm free from prison. Oh.
She disappeared. And yet the singing is continuing. Ah, okay. Why? Also, let's see. Well, it's simple. It's this boss, the demon of song, this grotesque frog demon, who imitates the singing of a Milfanito and lures its victims here. He probably murdered and ingested her. This also gets one of the unique boss theme and one of the creepier one too. You can only damage the Demon of Song when he's actually protruding his face and his arms out of the bloody frog costume that he's having. Looks like a very, very poor fursuit. Otherwise, all your attacks will do absolutely no damage. And you have to watch out because, you know, he can retreat at any moment, and all of his attacks works on contact damage, as in, it's not just, you know, him slapping you, but just moving around may cause, you know, a lot of problems.
Oh yeah, the Netflix version of One Piece is almost upon us.
The live-action one. Again, audience, this is going to be published in the future, so we're not really knowledgeable already of what the general reception is going to be.
Oh my god, I can't believe that the show is the greatest thing ever.
Or the polar opposite of that.
Or the worst thing ever.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at some point, someone needs to do some kind of ranking about all the Netflix live-action anime adaptation and see what's the worst of them. I still don't know if Death Note or Cowboy Bebop really are the worst. Because Cowboy Bebop put some effort into try to resemble this sort of material, while Death Note played a lot of Fast and Loose with its source material. Jesus Christ, I got one shot. Yeah, that was actually the one good casting in that entire thing. And that was probably because of just fan demand. It's like, because everyone for a year memed the idea, oh, wouldn't it be so funny if William Dafoe played the role?
Lo and behold.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, okay, I haven't really seen much of Death Note, but even I was like, yeah. Oh, okay, so I can just it's its own movie.
I can tell you that the anime is actually one of the few instances where I prefer my country's dub over the original, because the actor who we got to play, you know, Kira, as in, you know, Light Yagami, which was very young around that time, has a very type of unique voice, and towards the end he has to do a particular evil laughter that has become a bit infamous, and even, you know, internationally, the one from my country has been recognized as probably the best one among, you know, the dubbed.
The UK is getting the musical soon.
Oh boy,
what?
I can't.
Yeah, Death Note has a musical. It's a whole thing.
What are they gonna call the songs?
Happy Death to You.
I don't know, but I follow someone on Twitter who
you.
regularly posts about the musical.
I just... Okay, at this point, you know, I wonder, can you make can you make a musical out of Chainsaw Man at this point? I mean, sky's the limit, but you don't give a shit, I guess.
Pretty much every major property gets some kind of stage play in Japan, so a musical wouldn't be too far off. For
stuff that we already see in the past in some kind of capacity, like, you know, Ace Attorney, I kind of get it. Or Danganronpa, I actually got to see a snippet of what the musical actually is like, you know.
I saw a couple of clips of that today, actually.
Makes sense because, you know, it's most of the sort of material is just around people standing still, talking and pointing at each other, so you need to convey just some stuff on a screen behind, you know, for kind of...
Both of those franchises are about standing and pointing at people.
What are they even going to call the songs? L is a loser.
L for
I don't
loser.
know.
Take the L.
You take the L.
Light brings death to you.
Again, considering how back then there were a lot of Fujo fanfics, as in, you know, yaoi baiting kind of fanfic about light,
Yeah,
like
taking
light
the
and
L
L.
takes a different
Yeah, Take the L is a
doesn't it?
perfect title.
Okay, there we are. Death Note the musical. It's actually been a bit older than we thought. It actually had its premiere in Japan in 2015, and yeah, this year I think they're bringing the tour to where was it?
London.
The London Palladium. I don't know if tickets are still available for it. Are you going to it?
No.
Alright, okay.
Tickets for musicals in London are expensive.
Well, I found some names for some of the songs.
Go on.
Okay.
Where is the Justice?
Yeah, fair enough. That's the
They're
entire
Only
Moraponium.
Human,
Right.
Change the World.
Yeah, okay.
Hurricane.
Okay, that one feels weird.
Kira.
Yeah, that's the code name that like uses.
I'm Ready from Misa sings it.
Oh, goody.
We All Need a Hero.
Okay, if it's not L leitmotif, I hope it's not light because.
It says it's being sung by Sayu and Misa.
Oh, okay then, sure.
L sings a song called The Game Begins.
That's his entire shtick. He finds the challenge of trying to find who Kira is a game.
There are lines from Soichiro and Light,
Okay.
and the last song that isn't a reprise in Act 1, Secrets and Lies. Act 2 has again, not counting reprises, Mortals and Fools.
Light starts considering himself a god at some point, so yeah, it makes sense. Which is a sort of a play on the original term. Shinigami literally can mean god of death, you know. So it's more of a case where in the original, Light starts considering himself a Shinigami just because he has the power of a Death Note.
Stalemate. I'll only love you more.
Okay.
The way things are.
There we. Sorry.
Against the reprises.
Second try without a.
Honor Bound. Playing his game. Borrowed Time from Misa.
Okay.
When Love Comes from Rem.
Okay.
And The Way It Ends from Ellen Light. And the last song, Requiem by, I'm guessing, everybody.
Also, from what I've seen, the whole musical is a little bit gay.
I mean,
what's wrong with that?
that to be
No?
expected.
Hey, you're the last. I'm the last person who's gonna find something wrong with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna be the last person.
Okay, but anyway, yeah, I managed to beat the Demon of Song on the second try without Phantom, so that's a good thing. So let's proceed forward, but I got two items, its soul and a key, actually, which might be the one that we need. So let me get the first, there you go. First, the Looking Glass Knight's soul, which we haven't read. Soul of the Looking Glass Knight, who challenges visitor to the Lordless Castle. Long ago, the King's Passage was a route taken by the bravest warriors to prove themselves, but now it only prevents one from pursuing the runaway king. As for the Demon of Songs, Soul of the Demon of Song at the Shrine of Amana. When this demon developed a taste for human flesh, it was contained within the Shrine of Amana, but the line of priestesses who looked after the shrine and appeased the creature have died off. So unfortunately, that's also why the creature uses the Milfanito cry. But hey, at the very least, tracking through this dungeon went better than I expected, so trust me. During my first run, I was stuck here for a lot more. Oh, and we need to defeat this guy. Go on.
My Hero Academia also got a musical.
That one has to be expected because it's far more popular and with a bunch of teenagers, the perfect demographic for that kind of stuff.
Okay. if one of the songs isn't called "Get Out of My Way" or "I'll Deku," I'll be really disappointed.
Well, that will be the English title. The pun, doesn't work always.
Well, that's what I want it to be called.
I hope Bakugo gets a solo song about how he thinks he's great shit.
What's his superhero nickname?
God, I forgot.
Dickhead?
No.
It'd be accurate.
I thought the kid with the grape, hair is more fitting for that.
Dynamite.
Yeah, because his power are inherited by his two parents, who are Nitro and Glycerin, so of course he combines that. It's clever, shut up. Alright, I haven't checked.
No, I got it. He's about to kill somebody, and they alter the word dynamite to make the title of the song, as in die-na-mites. That's terrible.
By taking this elevator after the Shrine of Amana, we reach the next dungeon, the last bit we need in order to find King Vendrick. And how fitting for the month of October. The Undead Crypt. A giant tomb. Ow.
Actually.
Hold on, Lives, because now Aldia decides to pop up again in order to give us more wisdom. So let's talk.
Fake bonfire.
Let's talk to him. No, it's not a mimic, but again, let's talk to Aldia again.
Why should I talk to him? He blew me up.
It's his method of entrance, but it doesn't give us damage, so that's a proof of, him trying to just talk with us. So if you forgot, the first time when we talked about with this guy, he told us about the cycle of life and death, and how he thinks, pursuing that is a bit redundant, and instead trying to understand the bigger picture, it's important. Also, for some reason, he references Vanguard, the guy with lost his head, which is such a random thing because Aldia is not really connected to him. I guess it's more of a testament on the fact that Aldia is kind of ascended to the state where, he's sort of a more omniscient kind of figure, but he can see everything. But this is important also. He mentioned something about the Lord of Light, the fact that mankind was supposed to have a divine thing, but the Lord of Light imposed, imposed a shackle onto us as a result, and we were lied into believing that we are just lesser beings. And Aldia did not took well, getting this revelation. It's actually one of my favorite. There you go. It's actually one of my favorite lines of the entire game, entire franchise. Well, even in general, the fact that a lie remains a lie despite everything. And look, it's not even like a trying to condemn humanity as a whole, instead that we're bastard, because even for stupid shit, people tend to lie all the time in some capacity. It's just a matter of the intention behind it and the bigger scope and what you do. You just want to fuck everyone over, like Aldia said Gwyn did, because the Lord of Light was him, Again, that's an entirely different thing than saying it's 8:30 p.m. when in reality it's 8:32, Anyway, we haven't checked yet the key that we got from the demon, but the interesting thing is that, if I recall correctly, it's also can double as a piece of equipment. Let me check if it's here. There it is, the key to the embedded. Sword that opens the embedded door, shaped like a weapon, but is in fact a key. plunge the key into the embedded to bring a rhapsodic end to his fate. The once human embedded, realizing that he could never resist the temptation of the flesh, bound himself eternally with chains. Since then, he has awaited the day that somebody will find his key and bury it within his bosom. Essentially, a fucking cultist from Hellraiser. So let's put an end to him and go back to the castle to do it.
They're even making a Spy X Family musical.
Okay, well that one is definitely a bit action-centered, you know. It's not really to the point of, you know, being too much action-focused. It has its time of, you know, more tranquil scenes and everything. And I think it kind of fits for the musical theme in idea of having potentially like a 50s style, kind of like with series like Bewitched, you know, that kind of you know 50s sitcom that would be parodied in stuff like you know Fallout or Saints Row 4. I think there is potential to do something like that.
It's a shame. It's a shame Yor isn't a counterfeiter. Otherwise, the song could have been "Hello, I will be your forger."
Actually, that's instead her name, Your Briar, because get it, she's the wife of the protagonist.
No, I meant your forger. I'm going to forge things.
Well, yeah, she still has a power. All right, let's plunge this key into this guy. There we go. Hope it was good for you. Jesus. Alright, let's talk to the freed Milfanito.
I mean, if that's what they're into, then fair enough.
I mean, they're dead.
Yeah. Oh, and she just teleported. If I recall correctly, we can find her to the Shrine of Amana again, but we gain an item, the Ring of the Dead. It's merely a cosmetic thing, because it allows us to retain a human appearance even if we're hollow. But it's just an aesthetic kind of thing. We're not allowed to summon NPC phantoms if we're still hollow. So again, it's just a matter of, you know, if you still want to look human despite being hollow. But again, there are much better rings to equip, so we don't need this. But I think it was kind of a, you know, neat thing to showcase. We still have a bit of time, so we're gonna try to get a bit into the crypt to see how it is.
Name, I don't remember what the Teomori elevator music sounds like off the top of my head.
Me neither.
I've also been watching a TV show called Supernatural.
Oh.
It's on Amazon Prime at the minute, and I've seen a few episodes of the first season. I'm into it, although if I hadn't accidentally spoiled myself on the ending, I'd have thought the ending was going to be that the brothers get arrested for all the forgery and fraud they committed. Seriously, they pretend to be cops, doctors, detectives, everything.
There's so many crimes that those boys commit.
Yeah, they commit so many crimes. I'm surprised that isn't how the series ends. They get arrested for all the forgery they committed.
Be sure also to check eventually, because I forgot if they mentioned at what particular season it takes place. Be sure to look also on the Scooby-Doo crossover that they had. It's great.
I've already watched that.
That was really cool.
Alright, the gimmick of the crypt is that it's a relatively dark place, so you might be tempted to actually, you know, put a light on. Don't do it. There are some NPCs in this, I already warn you, that if they actually spot a light on, they will immediately, essentially get aggro towards you, even if you did technically nothing wrong. So we might as well not do it. I can still see decently enough. The lighting... Also, this guy has 2 shields. It blocks the way. Are you for real? Move away,
Just get
sir.
one big shield.
Oh god, this place.
I didn't know Ryuji was joining us for this playthrough.
No, dweebs. If it was Ryuji, we'll need a megaphone, you know, constantly yelling that nobody knows they're the Phantom Thieves.
I see you're one of those, Teo. The one that takes character traits that they only show off once or twice and say that's their whole personality.
It's hilarious, shut up.
Yeah, it's funny. What's wrong with you?
I know that you kind of tend to side with Ryuji because of a little accident with Morgana, where you know, it was kind of a dick. So
Ryuji was portrayed in the wrong there, even though Morgana was acting like a dick.
again, I'm not saying anything for now. Oh god, I've also been poisoned. I forgot. I already hate these magicians.
Morgana's either being a pervert or an ass. There's no in between.
Okay, at the very least, in Strikers, they toned that down.
It's more of a natural thing, Waves, in a sense that after, you know, after the main game is released, subsequent spin-off try to tone down the personality of the character that are perceived, you know, the most negatively. For example, Yosuke from Persona 4, after the main game, it's in the spin-off tends to be relatively more of a normal person instead of an asshole.
I still want to throw him in the trash, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, I get it. You know, it's more of a work in progress than anything, but at least it's something. This is what I was talking about. The NPC in this room immediately tells you, do not produce light or we will treat you as an enemy. So at the very least, the game gives you a warning. But unfortunately, if I hadn't used a torch on my own, or had not killed that hollow that was carrying one, which was scripted to actually get here, they will immediately aggro. But since I thankfully haven't, these three gentlemen are not of consequence, but what I need to talk here is this William Wallace lookalike. Let's talk to him.
I am Agdane.
What about that glowing ghost behind you? Does he count?
No. Thankfully, no. Devotee Scarlet is another cleric, but since, you know, the character is not producing light of their own, we're fine.
Light.
As I mean, using a torch. That's what the light that we're talking about.
We have no need for it here.
Agdine, whatever. He's voiced by Patrick O'Kane.
And watch over the dead.
Interesting. Oh, alright. I forgot if we ever told, because we just left it open. Let us meet Gilligan. I checked for his voice actor, and yes, he was actually going for an Irish accent.
From ages long ago.
Yeah. Oh well. Patrick O'Kane is from Belfast.
Some wise, some dull.
And more recently, I've seen him in Doctor Who. He was a guy. He was a character called a Shard, who was a mostly converted Cyberman. It was actually one of the. Apparently, his character is that he was one of the people that were willing to be converted. Like, you know, it's like, I hate my body. Give me the cyber stuff.
But they rest here now.
So yeah, this is actually a servant of King Vendrick, and decided to, you know, stay here for safekeeping, because apparently King Vendrick is in this place, so we're finally getting close to him, so that's actually pretty cool. And tells us that this reasoning of hating light is because it's too agitating, but he's not technically a malicious person, he's just someone who prefers to stay in the darkness.
How queer you feel.
And he talked us more about a theme that happens, that has been recurring, that has been talked to us. The cycle, the idea of the repetition and the rising and fall of civilization. This will have to be explained at the very end, because it's a bit of a subtext that the game is having. I think I mentioned this at the very beginning of his run, which, by the way, we haven't mentioned yet. If you forgot, we started this journey practically 2 years ago, actually, if you need a reminder.
Show me reverence, and I will
You've been
lend
here
you
a while.
Because of, you know, the fact that this is not a super continuous kind of thing, between the first and the second part there were a couple of months of difference. This is why it took us a lot of time. Anyway, we can learn a gesture from him, the "Have please, have mercy" gesture, and we can buy some stuff. Let's see, we have a ring of thorns, which, no, we already needed. Some arrows, human effigies, yes please. Mushrooms of Elizabeth, which are a healing item, we don't need it, and some sorceries, sure, why not. Let's buy some stuff. I don't really need them, but for completion's sake, they're always, you know, good to know.
I am a finito.
Okay, blah blah blah, you already told us this stuff.
Farewell, human.
Goodbye. Nice knowing ya. So yeah, the game kind of potentially locks you away from this, because if he gets aggro, he will never, you know, calm down, even if you turn off the light as a result. But anyway, oh god, now I definitely start to not see well in the light. Sorry, not see well in the dark, but alright. Let's move on.
Yeah, you can't really see too far ahead of you.
Well, I'm trying also, again, as a reminder, I tend to... Well, dudes, have you checked, did you had a check-in with an optometrist about what's your current eyesight? I'm curious.
No, I haven't.
Okay, because I had to do it relatively recently for checking for my driver's license, and they tell me they still basically 10 out of 10 on both eyes. We have we measure in scale of 10s essentially.
We're not really required to do that. I mean, we have like a thing where we have to. The most eyesight test we have when we're doing our driving test is that we have to read a license plate from a distance.
Well, yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Otherwise, like, past a certain age, we just have regular eye tests every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had an eye test at all.
Well,
because I have my mom and her feeding me all those carrots as a child to thank for that.
I need new glasses soon.
Beta carotene is more of a meme in terms of, you know, being good to your eyesight, but it's not bad technically, so might as well.
I mean, carrots are just good for you. It doesn't matter what part of you they're good for. They're just good for you.
Yeah, vitamin C
as well.
Vitamin C and mineral salt are the basic components that are the more important in them. I'm also one of those people that tend to prefer, you know, some particular type of vegetable in raw format, obviously cleaned up.
Yeah, raw carrots are preferred.
Because boiled, not only they lose nutritional value, they taste like ass. I'm sorry. Also, the gimmick of, another gimmick of this dungeon, if you haven't noticed, is that unfortunately, some of the particular enemies, the Nazgul looking guys, can potentially respawn if you're not careful. I cannot even use this bonfire too. Can potentially respawn if these particular bells are wrong, you know, are struck. So we need to be careful, and obviously, of course, the dungeon puts these hollow NPCs that, you know, conveniently decides to just jam themselves into the bells, just to trigger you, just to trigger the summoning of these beings. And of course, we also have the ghosts that pop up from the walls, from the Scooby-Doo mansion castle from before. Actually, might as well ask this question while we're at it, because I am curious, because, you know, with all the decades that it's been present, you know, we are bound to have seen an iteration of them, so a general good idea. What is your favorite member of the Scooby Gang, Dwibs?
Scooby, I guess.
Oh, you never particularly thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind any of them.
Okay, then.
It's just, well, it's main character.
Sure. Oh god, I got invaded by the nameless usurper again. I forgot. I should have dealt with her.
Maybe it's Velma, probably. I haven't really thought about it much either.
I had to go with Shaggy, absolutely, for me. Like, not necessarily for the eating thing, but he's more the more, you know, relatable out of all of them. Because Fred is absolutely who you wish you would be. The kind of jock that's not necessarily a jackass, but, you know, is always cool and wants to get the girls and everything. You know, Shaggy is instead more the common guy and obviously the stoner. Like, you can tell me, you tell me that it's more because, you know, it's made for children, but you cannot tell me that Shaggy is not doing copious amounts of weed.
No, he absolutely is.
That was the funniest thing about watching Scooby Natural, The Scooby Gang basically having a existential
Crisis, yes. Like, it took them long enough for Daphne to start wondering, wait, if ghosts are real, maybe the afterlife is real, you know? And spoiler alert, again, this is not really too much spoiler because right for the first episode you get to know that, Waves, but no matter what you do, the afterlife for the supernatural, you know, series universe kinda sucks. Like, humanity
Everybody's just traumatized.
humanity is kinda condemned to a shitty destiny no matter what happens. So, stay safe, kids.
Well, I have a lot of material to look forward to because there's 15 years of it.
Yes.
Again, the main appeal is mostly, you know, the two main characters having to fight all these teacher of supernatural, you know, horrors.
Yes, where they have to go through America, and fight ghosts.
Jumping and then left. Okay. Right, we need
Yeah,
to get
it's one of those shows where they dress up Canada as being America.
A.
Except the pilot that was actually filmed in Los Angeles, but I'm guessing costs meant that they had to move to Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the last season, like the last third of it, I think, got delayed because of the pandemic, and those last episodes were filmed during said pandemic.
Mm-hmm. All right,
So,
I have enough of this.
That was a bit of an obstacle. Well, I mean, we are, as for a time check here, we are like an hour and 2 minutes in.
I'm getting there, Dweebs, don't worry. We're ending soon enough one way or another. Alright, let me just do this. Put this brazier on. I think there is a Pharaoh's Lockstone around that actually allows me to lead up the entire place properly. Oh, I forgot about this. Yeah, if you light up some of these braziers, some red phantoms will show up eventually, but thankfully I have Scarlet here to give me a hand. Alright, because we're also technically close to the boss, so we might as well give it a try, and if we don't succeed, we'll just end it there. Again, we're actually at a very good progress at this point. We're gonna ignore the chest for the time being because, again, we're in a hurry. Fuck. I was trying to prevent this hollow to ring the bell. Alright, time to run like mad. Because the boss is already kind of a pain in the ass and I don't want to deal with this enemy, especially because I have only one Estus left. There are also a bunch of treasure chests, but we're not gonna do them now. See ya, don't wanna be ya. Especially because this boss is particular, even gets an introductory cutscene. The last form of protection from danger that protects King Vendrick, his own personal bodyguard, so to speak. Okay. Velstad, the Royal Aegis. That big mace doubles as a bell and a, enchanting stuff, so watch out. Thankfully Scarlet went through. Alright. I think that I forgot if I mentioned, I probably did in the first game, but the trade-off for having summoning phantoms is that the boss's health gets multiplied, by a certain value. So in order to trade off, it's kind of like with Cuphead. Cuphead does something similar to that if you're playing solo or with another person.
Yeah. You make it more difficult for yourself if you play with another person.
Yeah, but it's part of the fun.
Sounds about as fun as playing the multiplayer in those new Super Mario Bros. games.
Well, apparently Sonic Superstar is having that too, so we'll have to see how the Sonic fans react to the experience.
Oh boy, doing new Super Mario Bros. Star multiplayer, but faster.
Gonna die fast.
Speed running, throwing your friends off ledges.
hilarious.
Yeah, like Tails getting his revenge on Sonic. Like, oh yeah, you constantly throw me off. You constantly sacrifice me to pits and all that just because I'm immortal. Well, take this, Sonic. Yeah, I'm not
Me and
bothered
Alice
with
got
these characters.
absolutely nowhere in Yoshi's Woolly World because we just kept killing each other.
In your life, Jesus. I
It's,
didn't know the game was that aggravating.
it's funny. I'm kind of reminded to the Sandman from Neil Gaiman, where two of the characters that are part of the entourage of Morpheus. Fuck, I died. Are the literal biblical Cain and Abel, and the entire shtick is that Cain gets pissed off by Abel's like bad jokes or philosophical bullshit, kills him, and then Abel resurrects the day after. It's part of a charm play for comedy. Anyway, that's it for today. We're gonna try beating Velstad the next time. So, see you for that.
See ya.
Ta-ra.